Alright, so some information on Ash Wednesday. The research says that Mithratic initiates, Mithratic initiates, and Mithras was the major pagan god, back in those days. Mithras just strip that down, go back. It ends up being Nimrod, who ends up being Lucifer. So all down through the ages, the name changes according to the different cultures and the different power structures that come in. So like the Greeks would come take over, they would rename all the pagan gods. The Romans would come and take over, they renamed all the pagan gods and heavenly bodies and so on. So by this time, where Rome was the world power, Lucifer went from being Nimrod to what the Romans call Mithras. So Mithratic initiates, it says, would henceforth have the sun cross on their foreheads. The similarity to the cross of ashes made on the forehead on the Christian Ash Wednesday is quite striking. Some have suggested this to be an example of the early Christians borrowing from the Mithratic cult. When you boil it all down, and how Rome mixed their paganism in with Christianity to convert societies and nations. Yes, they just took from this. They basically what you call put lipstick on a pig. They just basically covered up the paganism, slapped a Christianity label on it, and just integrated most of the pagan practices and kept them to assimilate the heathen and barbarian cultures that they had conquered. And so they just took the pagan gods of the world, of the people, and just put the Christianity label on it, and then integrated all the pagan practices into what would become known as Roman Catholicism. And so they took this practice of burning ashes, of worshiping the sun god, and basically putting the mark of their sun god in their forehead from the ashes, and made it a Christian thing and rebranded it. It goes on to say, Ash Wednesday, this allegedly Christian festival came from Roman paganism, which in turn took it from Vedic India. And something else they also took from Vedic India and those mysticism, Buddha and all that, was the practice of beads, prayer beads. And so something else they took from Vedic India was this practice of the ashes that was done for the sun god. Ashes were considered the seed of fire god Agni, with the power to absolve all sins. At Rome's New Year Feast of Atonement in March, people wore sackcloth and bathed in ashes to atone for their sins. Then, as now, New Year's Eve was a festival for eating, drinking, and sinning, on the theory that all sins would be wiped away the following day. As the dying god of March, Mars took his worshippers' sins with him into death. Therefore the carnival fell on Dies Martis, the day of Mars, Mardi Gras. In English, this was Tuesday because Mars was associated with the Saxon god Tu. In French, the carnival day was called Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, the merrymaking day before Ash Wednesday. So you see how all that just kind of plays together, but it's all pagan, and this is what all that is. The foundation is pagan, the practice is pagan, and they just rebranded it, repackaged it, and made it a Christian practice, but it is not. It is pagan. So that is what is up with Ash Wednesday.